the title is Devotional Service. So I'll recite the verse and then read the translation and we'll discuss the verse. So Krishna says here, Ata chittam samadhatum na shaknosi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. The translation. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. So here, Krishna is saying Arjuna that Ata Chittam Samadhatum. He's saying if you cannot fix your mind, na shaknosi mai sthiram, not able to, na shaknosi. If you're not able to fix your mind, on me, then what to do? Abhyasa yogena tato. He's saying Abhyasa yogena. Abhyasa means practice. Abhyasa yogena. Practice of what? Practice of devotional service. Tataha. Then Mam Ichchaptum Dhananjaya. Then you will get a desire to achieve me. Now, why is Krishna saying this? That he's saying, if you cannot fix your mind upon me. Actually, in the earlier verses, uh, the earlier three verses, Krishna actually very conclusively tells uh, the best way to exist by performing devotional service, and he actually explains the highest state of consciousness. What is the best possible state of consciousness one should be in? So, in the previous verses 6 and 7, Krishna tells Arjuna, what is this, the highest state of consciousness? He says, one who worships me, giving up all his activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, who has fixed his mind upon me. See the same thing. Krishna is saying that one has to be fixed up, fix his mind upon him, and he's saying actually for one, who does like this, what does he do? He has his mind fixed upon Krishna. He's always meditating on Krishna. He's engaged in devotional service to Krishna and without any deviation and giving up all his activities. In the sense, giving up all his activities means performing all activities for the pleasure of Krishna. And for such a person, Krishna is saying, O son of Pritha, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So Krishna has mentioned here the highest state of consciousness one can be in. And what is the result of that? For such a person, Krishna says, I will deliver them from this ocean of birth and death. And this is the purpose of human life. Atato Brahma Jignasa. The purpose of human life is to come out of this cycle of birth and death. We are all stuck in this loop. A loop, the word loop, it never ends. It goes on. If there is a loop, and if you don't come out of the loop, we are stuck in the loop. There are different kinds of loops. Sometimes, around the freeway, there is a loop. Different places we are driving. If you don't know that you're in a loop, we could be driving for, many, many hours, but we might be stuck in the loop. Unless we realize that we are in a loop and actually I have to take an exit to come out of this loop. So this human life is an opportunity for us to come out of this loop. And this whole Bhagavad Gita Krishna has spoken to help us come out of this loop. And here is mentioned the best possible way, the topmost possible way is simply by becoming devotee of Krishna. So after saying that by doing this, for such a person, I will deliver him from birth and death. The next verse, Krishna is now giving a conclusive instruction to Arjuna because that is the best thing to do. So he's saying, Arjuna, now, the previous verse, now just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. So, because Krishna has mentioned that what is the highest state of consciousness to be in, and what is the best possible thing to do, and that which will actually solve the real problem of this cycle and the loop of birth, death, old age, disease. Now, Krishna, because Arjuna is a very dear friend of Krishna, Krishna is instructing Arjuna, now you, Arjuna, you just fix your mind upon me because this is the best thing to do. So, you do this. What is it? You fix your mind upon me and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. So now Krishna has given a conclusive instruction to Arjuna. Now, when Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he is not only speaking to Arjuna, he is speaking with keeping everybody in the mind. because he Krishna put Arjuna in confusion. Actually, Arjuna was already a topmost devotee. Actually, there was no need for Krishna to tell Arjuna that you please fix your mind upon me and you engage all your intelligence in me. Actually, Arjuna was already fixed up with Krishna. So much so that, before the battle even started, he went to Krishna to request him to be with him. He did not even wanted his army. He was already fixed upon Krishna. He knew if he is with Krishna, everything is already taken care. There is nothing to be worried about. So Arjuna was already a very, advanced, pure devotee, completely unconscious of Krishna and always thinking of Krishna, exactly as mentioned earlier, mind fixed upon Krishna, always thinking of Krishna and always working in devotional service to please Krishna. That was already his state. But Krishna temporarily put him, Arjuna, because in the battlefield, he wanted to use Arjuna to speak this knowledge so that it will be recorded in the history, and everyone who are hearing and everyone in the future can take advantage of, this divine instruction, which will help everybody. So that is why, Arjuna is telling Arjuna, fix your mind upon me. But then, because Krishna knows the audience is not just Arjuna, he wants to cater to everybody. Every human being, doesn't matter what state of consciousness they are in. One might not be in the highest state of consciousness, then what should they do? Because here Krishna is saying, always fix your mind upon me and become my devotee, and keep all your intelligence in me and completely be devoted to me. But what if one is not in that state of consciousness? And that is what Krishna is speaking in this ninth verse. If you are not at that level, that means, it is applicable to everyone who is not in the same level or the state of consciousness of Arjuna. Actually, in one sense, it is applicable to all of us, because if we were in the state or consciousness of the same level of Arjuna, we would have been already in the spiritual world, or we would have been with Krishna, just like Arjuna is always with Krishna. So the fact that we are not with Krishna all the time, and we are living in this material world and struggling, right? It's a struggle for existence. This verse becomes very much applicable to us. What is it? Krishna is saying, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, right? If we cannot fix, one could think, well, Arjuna is already a great devotee. He has that strong attachment for Krishna. He's already a devotee, so he can fix his mind upon Krishna. But what about other people who are not at that level? What do we do? How can we advance in our spiritual journey to get closer to Krishna? So that is where Krishna is saying, well, if you are not at that level, this is what you should do. Abhyasa yogena. And he's saying, follow the regulated principles of bhakti yoga. That means the practices of bhakti yoga. If we do this, then Krishna is saying, in this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. So this is what is our current situation. We have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. We have lost in touch with Krishna. And at this point of time, unfortunately, we don't have a desire to attain Krishna. We don't have a desire to revive our lost relationship, because we even have forgotten what we have lost. If somebody has something very valuable thing, let's say he has a very expensive watch, golden watch with diamond studded and all that. So if he loses it somewhere, he will be looking for it very frantically. It's very valuable, very expensive, you know. But if he doesn't even know that he has lost it, will he be looking for it? Right? Let's say he was wearing a full hand shirt, right? The watch has fallen down, but it's not visible. He doesn't even know. So that is our situation. We don't even know what we lost. We don't even know how valuable our relationship with Krishna, which has been lost. So that is why, if we take up these practices of Bhakti Yoga, then we will slowly realize what we are missing. We will slowly realize what is the beauty and the wonderful relationship that we originally had with Krishna, which we are currently missing. We will realize what we are missing, and then we will work to attain it back. And then Krishna is saying, in this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. So there are two states, right? We talked about the state of Arjuna, who is already in Bhakti Yoga, who is already, has developed a complete attachment for Krishna. He has love for Krishna, and is already acting in that love. And then there are others, like everyone else in this material world, who does not have that attachment for Krishna. Where is that attachment then, right? Because the nature of the soul is to be happy and attain that happiness by loving something, by having an attachment for something. So where is that love? So love, original love is for Krishna, because Krishna is our real object of love. Prahlad Maharaj in his very famous prayers, he says, actually, Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. People do not know swartha gatim, swa artha. The best thing for one to have is actually Vishnu. Nate vidu, people do not know. Durashaya hi bahirarti manina. But because of misguided attachment, bahirarthi manina, so outside external things, they have become attached to external things. So that is what is our current state. So the nature of the soul is to be happy in a loving relationship, but and that love originally is supposed to be in loving relationship with Krishna and derive unlimited pleasure. The yogis, the bhakti yogis, generally when we say yogi, oh, they are given up everything, they are renounced. What is their life? They're not enjoying anything, right? But actually, they are enjoying the highest, right? It is said, Ramante yoginam anante. The yogis, they're Ramante, they're deriving pleasure. How much? Unlimited pleasure. That is the position of yogi. So when we become a bhakti yogi, or when we get connected to Krishna, we derive unlimited pleasure, unlimited happiness. And that is what we are all entitled to. But because we have lost that relationship with Krishna, we have forgotten Krishna, that unlimited happiness we are not getting. And because we are attracted to the external things, because our internal relationship with this Krishna, we have forgotten it, we have lost it. Now we are relating to external things, like what? The external objects, the material objects. Now we have love for external things, to material objects, to material atmosphere, to material things. The love starts with, initially there is selfishness. One thinks, because one thinks one is the body, and they can be happy by pleasing the body, by pleasing the senses, and they derive some pleasure. So initial attachment and love is for the body. People spend a lot of time and energy to actually please the body, to please the senses. They're thinking they're the body, and by pleasing the senses, I'm deriving some pleasure. So this is the way of happiness. So they try to feed, eat good food, please all the senses, right? Please the eyes, watch something, please the ears, listen something pleasing, please the sense of touch, have something that is very comfortable, please the sense of smell, smell something, perfumes. So what is going on? We are all trying to be happy by being attached. Our love is for the body, and we are pleasing the body, and we are deriving some pleasure, but it is very little pleasure, very temporary pleasure. Why? All the pleasures that we derive from the body are very temporary. After some time, we get frustration. If you smell a very nice perfume, oh, it will feel good for a short time. And if you put it on your dress, you smell it now and then, it feels good. Now, if the same smell is there everywhere continuously, you will actually get frustrated. You want to take a break, enough. So it is very short-lived. Anything, any sense pleasure you take in the beginning, it is nice, it is pleasing, but after some time, it will lead to frustration. And a classic example is given, like your favorite food. You eat a little bit, you'll feel good, you'll like it. But how much can you eat? After some time, you'll get frustrated. Even if it's your most favorite food, after some time, no, 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 enough, enough. But if someone says, no, please take, you like this. No, 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 even though I like it's enough, because the pleasure is lost. So, in the same way, what is happening? Our attachment and love is for the body. And when we spend all our time and energy initially for the body, it only leads to frustration. And then does it stop there? When people realize that, it extends. Again, it extends externally. It extends to what is connected to the body. Now the love is not just for my body. Now it is extending to whatever is connected to my body, my family, my children. And then people try to satisfy them, the family, the children, the relationships. But unfortunately, even that unfortunately leads to frustration. Why? Because there is no perfect reciprocation. There is so much a parent does for a child, and sometimes at some point of time there is disappointment because there is no proper reciprocation. And the thought comes, I have done so much, and look at now how the behavior is. In the same way, in any relationship, ultimately there is no perfect reciprocation. Why? Because this is not the way to derive happiness. We are deriving happiness in the wrong place. We are looking for water in a desert. If you want water, you should not live in a desert. We have to move away from the desert. We should go to a tropical place. But what we're doing is we're in this material world, and we're looking for happiness in the wrong place. And when that is not satisfied, it still extends. It goes beyond, okay, not the family, now the nation, my nation, I serve my nation, I'll do something for the nation, I'm, born in this nation. But unfortunately, even so much, one serves the nation also, ultimately it leads to frustration. Srila Prabhupada gives example of Gandhi. He was such a great person. He loved the nation so much. He dedicated his whole life to serve the nation for independence and everything. But what happened? A small, act of whatever he was trying to do to serve the nation was not liked by some people, and finally his own nation men, actually killed him. Right? For the exact same people who he was working for, they are the one who ended up the cause for his death. So anything, when we go on extending our love and attachment and serving the external things, it only ultimately leads to frustration. So what is it? The problem, the root problem is because nate vidu swarthagatam hi Vishnu. We don't know that our real happiness lies in our relationship with Krishna. In building that relationship and building that attachment is the right thing to do. And when that is not there, what we have to do? Krishna is giving here an instruction that abhyasa yogena. You just have to practice devotional activities. And what is the practice of devotional activities? It is actually, it's called as regulative principles. And when we practice these principles, everything automatically falls in place. It works like magic. Just like Prabhupada gives an example of this person who has jaundice, right? He is asked to eat sugar candy. But one who has jaundice, the sugar candy will actually taste very bitter. He will do it out of regulation, out of a, to heal himself, because it is a order given to him by the doctor. No, you have to do this, even though there is no taste, even though there is no liking. But what happens? It is said that the sugar candy, when one eats the sugar candy, it actually starts curing the jaundice disease. And slowly, once the jaundice is cured, we all know the sugar candy is naturally sweet. It's actually very tasty. Nobody will say no. And that is when the slowly, as the disease is healed, he will start experiencing the taste of the sugar candy. And then if the doctor asks him to take sugar candy, will he hesitate? He will say, yes, yes, I can take anytime, it is tasty. So that is how the regulative principles of bhakti yoga works. Initially we are all in a diseased condition. And what is a diseased condition? The result of diseased condition is we are attached to so many unwanted things, and those all result in actually a lot of bad habits. Because we are attached to unwanted things, our consciousness is misguided. We don't know what gives us happiness, what does not give us happiness. We have ended up cultivating a lot of bad habits. So many bad habits at the level of physical body, at the subtle level, at the mind and intelligence. Let's analyze what are the various bad habits, and then we can see how by following this instruction, all the various bad habits will automatically disappear. Just like the disease will go away if you take a medicine. So where various physical bad habits, what is it that we have? Right? Uh, One would be lazy, at the physical level. One would be, sleeping for a lot of time, always late for everything, not keeping things neat and clean, not organized, right? A lot of bad habits at the physical level. And then at a mental level, subtle level, also there are bad habits. There are, unfortunate addictions to intoxicants. Somebody is addicted to smoking, somebody addicted to drinking, even tea, coffee addiction. It's still an addiction. It's not good. And then there is even more addicted to telling lies, addicted to, cheating people. All these bad habits creep in because we have spent so much time externally, and we are trying to derive happiness in the wrong way, and mind comes up with different ways to derive happiness. Why does somebody tell lie? He thinks by telling lie and hiding some facts, he can derive some happiness, he can avoid some consequences. And why does somebody cheat? Same thing. Oh, I can get happiness if I do this, I cheat like this, I might get some money, I might do, I might get some positions and name, some fame, and everything behind, going behind that happiness. So lots of bad habits from different levels, from the smallest to the grossest level. And even it goes to a level of even hurting people, harming people. Why? Because of all the improper disease that the soul has acquired. What is the disease of the soul? It is known as bhavaroga. Attachment to the material world, attachment to the temporary things, not having attachment to Krishna is the root problem of all bad habits. Just like the disease has come and he goes to the doctor, and doctor now gives him some medicine, some regulation. Do this, follow this. And if you have faith in the doctor, and if you follow it, even though it is inconvenient in the beginning, Because you have faith and you know the doctor is the right person, you will slowly realize that it is actually helping me, healing me. So the principles of Bhakti Yoga are also like that. For all the diseased, conditioned souls we are, by following these principles of Bhakti Yoga, it is like taking the sugar candy. Initially, it might feel inconvenient, but slowly, as we heal, as our disease, the material disease comes down, we will start relishing the taste, and towards the end, we will do it out of love for it, not out of regulation. Just like one is healed from the jaundice, he will eat sugar candy because he likes it. The taste is good, not because the doctor has told. The doctor doesn't have to tell him anymore. So that is how Bhakti Yoga works. It is the same activity. Even after attaining the highest state of consciousness like Arjuna, or in the beginning stage, the activities are same. It is building that relationship and connecting to Krishna in different rules and regulations that are given by the spiritual master. So what are these regulative principles? Krishna is saying Abhyasa Yogena, by doing some practices. What are those regulative principles that will actually heal the soul and as a side effect get rid of all the bad habits? There are actually very simple practical instructions. That is where the spiritual master comes into the picture. Based on the time, place, and circumstance, based on the current situation of the current age, the spiritual master gives some simple do's and don'ts, which, if we follow, naturally we will advance in devotional service, we will get closer to Krishna, and naturally we will also get rid of all the bad habits, all the negativities, all the unwanted things. They are known as anartha. It's called anartha nivritti. You will get rid of all the anarthas, unwanted things, all at the physical level and the intellectual level, at the mental level, all unwanted habits and you know uh, unwanted practices that have been creeped into our consciousness will all go away. So this is where the expert spiritual master, when he comes, like our own spiritual master Swami Srila Prabhupada, he gives some simple instructions, some do's and don'ts. Right? The don'ts should be very well known to everyone by now if you're on this call. The don'ts are just like the doctor says, don't do this, 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 but do this and this and this. So in the same way, the spiritual doctor, our spiritual master, is giving us the instructions. The don'ts are basically, the four regulative principles which have to be followed, starting with no meat eating, no intoxicants, including coffee and tea, and no gambling, and no illicit relationships, no illicit sex. So these are the don'ts. These are the four pillars of sinful acts. What happens is when we indulge in any of these, it is actually giving us a heavy sinful reaction. And when there is a heavy sinful reaction, we will have to suffer a lot. The nature will give us so much trouble because we are doing sinful activity. And we are in so much trouble. How can you advance? How can you attain peace? How can you have happiness? Just like the doctor says to the jaundiced person, you should not eat solid food. If he eats, it will disrupt his whole health and it will make it worse. So that is why the don'ts are very important. If we want to become spiritually healthy, if we want to ultimately attain happiness, we have to follow these don'ts. And what are the do's? The do's are also very simple. Prabhupada, in the purport, he nicely mentions all the do's. He says, one should rise early in the morning, take bath. So this is very simple. We should start working on a schedule. What can I do to rise early in the morning? Many times it is said, oh, put an alarm in the morning and try to wake up. But actually, it is said the best thing if you want to wake up early is to put an alarm in the night to sleep early. Because if you don't sleep early, there is no way you can get up early. So the more important than an alarm in the morning is an alarm in the evening, a reminder for you to wind up and sleep. So everyone knows how much rest the body needs. Based on that, we have to calculate and we have to put an alarm for ourselves in the evening or in the night, so that we can sleep on time and then the alarm in the morning can be honored. We won't snooze it or stop it. We will actually get up, right? So one should rise early in the morning. This is very important. And then what should one should do after rising in the morning? Prabhupada is saying that we should actually enter a temple and offer prayers. So if you can't enter a temple physically, earlier days, everyone had this. There would be temples nearby the homes. They would actually get up, take bath, and they would go to the temple in the morning. Everyone would attend Mangalarti. Even now, if you go to Jaipur, the Govinda Dev temple, morning 5 o'clock for Mangalarti, we will see hundreds of people, even close to 1,000. The temple is completely full. Everyone would come, attend Aarti, and then go on with their business. So how do we do here? It's very simple. If you're at home also, you can pay your respects to the deity, or you can log in online. We live stream every day. Krishna Balram Mandir, Mangala Aarti is also live streamed. So you can get up in the morning, offer respects to the deity, to the picture of the Lord, or virtually have darshan, and then chant Hare Krishna. This is the most important thing. This is the medicine. We're taking an example of medicine, doctor, healing, spiritual, healthy, material disease. What is the medicine? The medicine is chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. So when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, it cleanses the heart. It becomes the purification process, because what does the medicine do? It cleanses the disease. It gets rid of the disease. It helps the person recover. How? By stopping what is causing the disease. So chanting Hare Krishna mantra is very important, especially in the morning. So we should chant Hare Krishna mantra how much ever we can. Ideal, recommended by spiritual master, if you want to take initiation and become a disciple in this disciplic succession, one should chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. But one need not try to jump directly. Start organically. It is like the sugar candy. You start slowly, you will naturally feel like doing more. So we should at least chant one round Hare Krishna mantra, or and slowly increase. We will naturally increase. And then offer some foodstuffs to the deity, eating prasadam. This is important. Like in the morning, we get up, we have some time, and then breakfast. What Prabhupada is saying, we should eat prasadam. So, what happens when we eat prasadam? We are getting connected to Krishna. When we chant Hare Krishna, if you see what is happening, it is like that sugar candy. We are adding that medicine. Everything is a medicine actually, not just chanting Hare Krishna. You offer respects to the deity, you offer prayer to the deity, you chant Hare Krishna, you take prasadam. What we are doing is we are getting connected to Krishna. So prasadam, when we offer food to the Lord and take, it actually cleanses our mind and heart, and gets rid of lot of sinful reactions that we have accumulated in past so many lives. And if the sinful reactions are reduced, our miseries will become reduced, and then we will be able to progress in Krishna consciousness, in Bhakti Yoga. And then, so get up in the morning, chant Hare Krishna, offer prayers, offer food, eat prasadam. And most important thing, Prabhupada is saying, and is one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. So when we are reading Srila Prabhupada's book, we are actually doing that. We are hearing Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So one should make it a practice to every day take some time to read Bhagavad Gita, to take some time to read Srimad Bhagavatam. What will happen? Again, this is also building connection with Krishna. It is said, Prabhupada says that Krishna is absolute, Advaya, Advaya Jnana, it is said. So we are actually in touch with Krishna. Whatever we do that is related to Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, we are in touch with Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, we are in touch with Krishna. By eating prasadam, we are in touch with Krishna. When we read Bhagavad Gita, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we are in touch with Krishna. So we need to see how we can take some time every day, at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam. When we do this, we are getting in touch with Krishna. And what will this do? This will slowly heal our disease and will bring us to the level of love of God. That same consciousness, that same state that Krishna wanted Arjuna to be, that Krishna said that the highest state of consciousness, that instead of reposing our loving tendency towards all external material things, starting with our body, the senses, the nation, extended, so many material objects. Sometimes there is love and attachment for material objects also. Somebody wants a big house, a big car, expensive this, that. These are all external. What will they do? They will only lead us to frustration. None of them will give happiness. And that is what we are seeing in this world. We see everyone is going behind them. Can we see anybody happy? Everybody is frustrated because what they got is not making them happy. They're going for something more. Prabhupada says it is like putting fuel in a flame. It will never reduce. You can never extinguish a flame by putting fuel. So when we desire more and more material things, when we go more and more for material things, we're adding more fuel to the flame. It will only increase, but it will never come down. It will only cause more burning, more frustration. The more you have, the more anxiety, more tension, more frustration, but there is no happiness. The real happiness is in connecting to Krishna and following these rules and regulations. Automatically, we'll get rid of all the bad habits, because when you do good things, there is no place for bad things. When you follow the regulative principles, when you get connected to Krishna, it is like pouring fresh water in muddy water. Slowly, all the mud will go away and everything will become fresh. So, finally, Prabhupada concludes here. In the last line, I will just read it. Prabhupada is saying, this practice of Bhakti Yoga, under the rules and regulations, with the direction of a spiritual master, will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. So, that is the highest perfection, Prema Pumarto Mahan. So, just by following the simple rules and regulations and connecting to Krishna throughout the day, we will ultimately attain that love, and then we will be able to work exactly as Krishna is saying, in a complete consciousness of Krishna. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any comments, they can mention, or else we can end here. Right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Vishwa Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai.